to Machiwa. Welcome everybody coming in to this spiritual transmission, this connection, this energy, this memory, this frequency, this code. Machiwa. Blessings to all of you who are aligning themselves with the Emerald Order teachings. I thank you for being with us, holding space with us tonight as we talk about Machiwa. Lightworkers, empaths, those of you who choose to serve light, goodness, love, grace. Blessings to all of you. We're all going to need that strength to get through this drama unfolding on planet Earth. This spiritual awakening, this ascension process is affecting all of us on Earth, even all the animal life. It's something that affects anything in this world. So we're so grateful to be part of those who are awakening themselves to a greater potential, a greater cause or calling. So looks like we have some lights. Sound is okay. Let me light my candle here. So grateful to have you guys here with us tonight. Tuesday, 2025. This is a live transmission. So make sure we say hello to everybody. Looks like we have Gina Sutton in the house. Blessings, Star Sister. We have Chris Ann Foster in the house. Machiwa. Yes. Celine, Star Sister. Good to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a moderator and a member and watching our back tonight. BRC 46 and 2 in the house, sending positive energies. Thank you for that, Holy One. Ian Evans in the house. Anise Starr, thank you guys for being members. Sarah Holder, so glad to see you, sister. Hugs and kisses, thank you so much. Jazzy Gems in the house. What's up, everybody? And it's been almost a week now of me being sick, so I feel like 10% left. Like, I'm not at 100%. So, my energies just feel off, not perfect and great, but that's okay. I'm just happy that this is, for 2 days I stopped smoking. So it's not like I smoke a lot. If I did smoke, it was once, like a couple of hits in at one time. So that could be part of the thing, but I feels like sinuses. I don't really have sinus issues in my life, but maybe from completing a fever, at the end of the fever, I feel something in my sinuses. And when I was trying to stretch, I realized I still feel weak. And I do eat, I have an appetite, so everything's good, okay there. I guess it's just part of the recovery. I'll have to rebuild my strength when I feel 100%. So I'm not sure if I even want to light incense because of this sinus issue or something. The smoke might overwhelm it. I'll decide. I'll just wait and check. So, but yeah, this is a shifting. To me, I see it very symbolic as moving into a more serious focus. I mean, not just in the world, you guys, but I mean in my personal life as well. I feel like, almost like I was meant to get sick so it could force me to shift. And so we'll see how that goes. Right now, I'm going to go a whole month without smoking. That's my goal. So if you guys want to get lit tonight, nothing's stopping you. Go right ahead. I just won't be joining you for at least 4 weeks. I'll report to you guys how I feel throughout this. It was very, very challenging to fall asleep. So actually the first night wasn't as bad as it was the second night. So it's very hard for me to sleep without that, but I've done it before. So I'll do it again. I am doing it again. So bless all of you. Thank you for being here with us tonight as we focus on our shift and the change of the time and going into some of it unknown. Okay, and we do this as a group. We came here as a group. Lightworkers are supposed to be, you would say, a symbol of that change, a symbol of the shift. You would say it's more prominent in this new time period because you would say in the 90s and 80s it wasn't such a big of a deal, but now 2024, 2025, it's much more stronger, much more prevalent. The spiritual awakening, the drama, it's in our lifetime. So this is something that we're all going to not just endure, but be successful in, I believe. It's not comfortable. This is not comfortable, but I am dealing with it. And I know I can get through it. And just have that conviction within yourself, Lightworkers. We are going to be tested. We're going to be challenged. It's not easy. It's a very aggressive time period, you could say. So some Lightworkers won't make it. Some Lightworkers are gonna not take the stress. They'll just say, forget this. So I want to say I'm not going to be one of those. I hope you're not one of those holy ones in tonight's group. We're meant to accomplish our work, shifting or bringing on the shifting of the 2025 frequency, and so it's a big deal, and it takes a group effort. So let me say hello to all those other coming in. Yeah, Jazzy Jim said it. We're used to being challenged, right? Instance Karma, thank you for the feedback. You've been here since Spiritual Magical, huh? Good to see you, Indigo Wizard brother. Free White Dove, Star Sister. How you feeling, Free White Dove? I hope you're feeling okay as well. Josephus in the house. Greetings to you, Holy One. Thank you for being a member. Chris Ann Foster. What exactly does Machiwo mean? It's a light language. My personal Anuhazi. My name's Anuhazi. And so it's more of a salutation, a greeting, but I believe it has more than one meaning, and I don't know all the meanings because I've said it at different times under different circumstances, but it definitely is positive light language. Light language is not a channeled thing. It's something that comes from my own family of consciousness. And we're not from the same planets. We're not from the same English language. It will be different languages, otherworldly languages, and that's what Machiwa is, another worldly language. My light language. Blessings, Holy One. Thank you. Yeah, Tracy Carroll, it's a good way to look at it. A cleansing, a clearing, a cocoon period for healing. Great way to say it. Yeah, deer is one of my spirit guides, so that's definitely a source of medicine for me. Deer medicine, homie. What's up? So I'm hoping by Saturday's live, I'll be 100%. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that I have the energy to do a show tonight. So, it's for all of you guys, all my patrons, and I'm not going to leave you hanging, right? So even if we're not at 100%, people understand. Some people are going through some of this themselves. So thank you for your understanding and patience. And if you guys have any questions tonight, please don't forget to tag Christos avatar in your message. Thank you, Q Roberts, for the feedback. It could be Chi Roberts, Q Roberts. Thank you so much for letting me know, Holy One. I do this service for you guys. And so, yeah, it looks like I caught up. So apparently there are 2 viruses going around in my town. The flu. Oh, wow. That's horrible. I would not want to be around no stomach flu. Wow. Blessings to you, Free White Dove. That's got to be worse than I'm going through. So I don't envy you. But, yeah. This is why I like to be around less and less people because it's safer nowadays. Yeah, wow. I would not want that at all. So, and not to mention, it's been very windy weather, not so lovely weather. So, and it just adds on to the energy that's going on. But like our sister said, we kind of get used to having this deal with this. But don't give up, you guys. Our spirit will find the balance. We will, and we can even ask for that extra assistance from our team. Our own family of consciousness, and help us get us through. And it is a team effort. You are multidimensional. As a light worker, you're not just relying on your own self, because you have many other parts of you that you can align yourself with, connect to, and that will help you get stronger. It's part of actually our personal identity. It's part of who we are, is a multi-dimensional being. Like in the secular world, they talk about multiple personalities, but it's goes way beyond that, you guys. We didn't call them personalities, we call them identities. And it's interesting because you have you're thinking in your day. You have ideas, you're making decisions, but realize your actual mind is a combination of several different selves combined or pulled together into your one thinking process. Now, we don't perceive it really because it's all in our same voice, but isn't it interesting? Or some people, for example, it's like you can't have you don't notice a distinction. Now, maybe the message or the idea has a distinction, but in any case, a lot of the times we have these other selves mixed in with our thinking. So it's kind of like a multiple presence of our one self. So we talk about the Christos avatar level. And so that is part of, we're connecting to part of that. Now, as you expand in your spiritual journey your awakening process, you become more psychic and you'll perceive more and more. So your mind, your thinking is going to develop into a greater mind. So it's part of the activation, the DNA activation. And I want to point something out. If you guys noticed in movies, there's a lot of movies that show people start to experiencing superpowers. Power of flying, power of invisibility, power of self-healing and regeneration. There's way too many examples of different shows, and maybe you guys can list some shows. I want to list one right off the bat that I tell you guys sometimes what shows I'm binging or watching, and it's an older show, but it's called Heroes. Raise your hand if you've watched Heroes or like Heroes. It has all these different people awakening to these abilities. And of course, you're going to have some of these people awakening, they're villains. Like you're a Lightworker or an empath awakening to your psychic potential. Well, so can negative people wake up to their psychic potential. And so in Heroes, they have a cheerleader who's still going to high school, but she has these abilities to self-regenerate. She actually makes home videos of herself jumping off of a bridge or whatever and falling to the ground. So they caught it on camera on purpose, and with her friend, and she breaks bones. The bones will stick out of her body, and she just gets up and shifts things, push things back into place, and she regenerates, and she's okay. There's a couple of people on the Heroes show. I think it has 3 or 4 seasons, right? That can fly. Just jump off a building and start flying. And so there's a couple of main characters who can take the powers of other heroes. So they can now become a self-regenerator, self-invisibility, flying, all this stuff. And so it's interesting how the show plays out and how they're trying to include scientists trying to figure out this, while spiritual, psychic people are figuring out this. It affects all of us. And it's not like in the show you see these people or these TV shows, they'll see them as special. Or they're being enhanced. Or somehow, most of these shows, the government is involved. What is that one with the boys? It's called The Boys. Stupid name. I think it's an absolutely stupid name. That's a very dark show, by the way. They do horrible things on that show. But it's about superheroes, abilities, powers, and battle between good and evil. Human beings do have sleeping, dormant DNA. It's not something you're going to see or hear the scientists talking about. Religion will demonize it. It is those in the middle, science and spiritual science, people who are awakening and understanding these great potentials. Not just limited to teleportation, or telepathy. That's another ability in the Heroes show. Someone can read minds. So this is what's happening, you guys. It's not just affecting consciousness, it's affecting biology. And what do we know from these teachings? That there's different levels of reality. Every higher reality than what we're in, the 3D, is going to be greater body forms, greater consciousness, greater psychic powers. It's the same kind of thought going along with superheroes. What powers does that superhero have? What powers does that superhero have? People waking up with powers, awakening to higher potential, to a higher spiritual and physical evolution. Okay? And it's not from aliens, it's from the human genome. Yeah, there's humans messing with their DNA and mixing of DNA, but it's also our organic potential. What we think is super or even paranormal, supernatural is not, which is another show, by the way, right? Supernatural. So let me try one instance. So and you can imagine that as you shift in your spiritual, physical evolution, it's not going to always be wonderful and joyous and feeling good. Like some of these superheroes, they go through a lot of pain to shift into their power, right? And it's not about special people. It's not about chosen ones. It's not about believers only. And some people don't like that because they want to be special. Like this guy, Sylar, the villain in Heroes, wants to be special, wants to dominate others. Wrong message. All humans, all, A-L-L, all humans have that potential. It doesn't mean all humans are doing it, though. They're going to stay asleep and be sending all of their power and energy to other entities. It's called religion. It's called worship. Excuse me. And might as well list your favorite superpower TV series or movies. Write it in the comments, because I'm sure there's a lot that, like even in his Dark Materials, same thing. Kids waking up to their abilities. The TV show has angels in it and archangels and witches. The power of the mind, the consciousness, and the spirit. It's not about beliefs. It's a reality. We're just being conditioned and tricked and duped and disempowered. They don't want you to awaken. They come here. The ETs come here because we are awakening. No, they can't have that. That will mess up their plans, their agendas. They don't want humans awakening their 12-strand silicate matrix, also called the diamond sun DNA. You're not special, homie. You're not a chosen one, vato. It's all our potential. Think in unity terms, but no, people are thinking self-centered terms. I'm better. I'm better than you, so you should listen to me. Transmute that. Machiwa. Frankincense. Lightworkers awakening. Typical. At the beginning of my show, usually it happens. Some white copal, machiwa. I didn't get my amber. I'll put some gold copal So this is something that is also connected to planet Earth. It's not about just humans. It affects the planet. It affects animals. It affects plants. It affects elementals. Everything on Earth is affected by the spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension. It doesn't mean those all beings and humans are becoming spiritual, but the potential is there. More than likely, they're going through different kind of changes because they're not awakening with their own free will choice. Some of us choose this path. This is our devotion. This is our focus. This is our journey, our path, our mission. So others are just secular. They're quite comfortable just living in the 3D, clueless about any spiritual realities. Don't even believe in those realities. Don't believe in, science. A whole huge branch of knowledge doesn't even believe in the soul or a God, a creator or anything. It's about a self-centered human. We're the center of the universe. We're superior to everything. Everything serves the alpha human. That type of consciousness is just showing its blissful ignorance and its aggressive negativity. Machiwa. Transmute those people from the world. Clean and transmute the low vibrations, the ignorance. Replace it with enlightenment. Bring in more light. Lightworkers. We came here to heal. We came here to transmute, to shift the frequencies, the thought patterns. Okay? This is the human's goal. We're meant to be guardians. Not better, not the rulers of the animal kingdom and insect kingdom. That's the religion BS. They have their own spiritual journeys. They're connected to God just like you are, or any other ET, angel, avatar. We're all connected to the God. This is the sacred universal innerchristos law of one, not the raw material. Does that look like the raw material? This is not the raw material. Innerchristos law of one. The inner covenant, baby, for life, homie. Spiritual gangsters, awakening light workers, bringing in that code, representing that code, standing in our conviction of unity consciousness and Christ consciousness, and be mindful of all the false teachings in New Age and religions and other false, you would say, light workers. There's going to be plenty of those, homie. And so a lot of people speaking lip service to Christ consciousness, not actually doing it. You see their words, you see their actions, they're not doing it. So be mindful of those kind of people coming into your sphere, into your hologram experience. Remember, we are our own creators. We create this experience. So if you got a bunch of negative people in your experience, one way or another, you allowed it to happen. We're all God. That insect is God. That demon is God. Everything was created by the Creator. It is a one mind, a one spirit, a one form, a one body. Okay? One God, not a bunch of gods. This is distorted thinking that there's a God and it has a name, it has a gender, has an agenda. You haven't figured it out yet, homie. You're still looking into the matrix illusion. So part of your challenge is awakening to that illusion. And there's plenty of organizations and individuals and belief systems that are reinforcing the illusion instead of seeing through the illusion. Instead of becoming enlightened, they're becoming darkened, if that's a word. Okay, you're not becoming more light, love, high vibe frequency. It's the opposite. You're falling in your consciousness. You're still busy judging people. You're still busy calling yourself a chosen one. You're judging. You haven't embraced unity with all the brothers and sisters in the world. You're trying to find some favoritism, or I am better, I'm in a higher position, I'm from a better family of consciousness. Using words like better and favored and chosen is someone who's lost, someone who's being tripped, duped into the, I like to call, fallen angelic propagandas. You're following the Inky propaganda, the Enlil, the Marduk, the Archangel Michael propaganda, the agendas of the Nephilim, Necromaton. Scary looking beings, wicked beings who hate you, who will create these ideas of benevolent Metatron. I'm making a Metatron video. It's right here in my mind, fresh. Which is coming from which isn't a family, ascended master family, which is beyond, outside of the time matrix. This family this ascended master family is part of a greater ascended master family called the Jehovanians, also called Giovanni. Sounds like Jehovah, because it is. But it is the Jehovanians, Metatrons, who created the Anu Elohim, and they fell. It's very interesting because I have to make pictures of these beings. They're called very clearly, very specifically in Voyagers as feline aquatic apes. So scratch your head wondering, what does that look like? Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure that out. Okay, so it's part like a Lyran feline hominid, but more. It's also part ape, and it has some aquatic features. This is the mighty Anu Elohim, a feline aquatic ape. These are the ones that were created by Metatron. And they're the ones that the Metatron wanted to try and rescue after the Anu Elohim fell. Because the Anu Elohim attacked the Guardians, Lightworkers. This is part of our history. And so, Metatron's not a good guy. Metatron's not an individual. It certainly isn't a boy or a girl. Oh, I was contacted by Metatron. You're a liar. I'm an Archangel Michael channeler. You're lying. He's good. It's not a he. It's not a she. It's not an individual. It's a collective. Specifically, Archangel Michael doesn't exist. Let me say that again. Archangel Michael is a fabrication by a fallen angelic collective. It's not a real being. It's a contrived being that's being used as a channel contact. It comes from the New Age channeling. And it's the same thing with religion. Religion, they mention Elohim, they mentioned the Nephilim, they mentioned all these fallen angels. Not to mention Michael, Gabriel, Ariel, Sariel, Kal-El, 11. So many people love Metatron, and they think that Metatron is Enoch. Bullshit. And Metatron, or Enoch, is a Jehovanian? Jehovanian Anunnaki? Jehovah, God, Yahweh stories? when it comes to individuals, actual individuals, Thoth is an individual incarnation. Enoch is an individual incarnation. I remember Ashana, our teacher, talking about how they were talking to each other, man. And how Enoch had to make a decision because he wanted to go help his people, the Jehovian Anunnaki people. And Thoth tricked him. Thoth tricked Enoch. Metatron is not a person. It's a collective. So how was Metatron Enoch? Because this is heavy in New Age. Metatron's a big deal in the New Age, and they connect it to Enoch. You guys, the only connection between Metatron and Enoch is that Enoch is coming out of the Anunnaki. He's one of the Anunnaki races. Has nothing to do with an incarnation of Metatron. Think bigger. Think as a massive gestal. This is my task. My task is to show you that Metatron is a collective, Giovannians are a collective, Anu Elohim are a collective. People are seeing small little pieces. They see little, oh, it's a person, it's a boy. Expand, aim higher. It's a collective. It's plural form. Just like this whole debate, and Jewish people will even make this debate. Elohim's singular. No, honey, Elohim is plural. You guys are confused within your own people. Because some of your people say, yes, Elohim is plural. No, some people say, no, Elohim is God. It's plural form. And even the guardian angelic nations say Elohim is a race, a collective. You see, you guys, you're a light worker. You're calling yourself a light worker. Some of the things you have to learn about spirituality is when you evolve into higher dimensions and higher density matter forms, you stop being just a insignificant little person. You're not just one person. You're a mind, a collective hive mind, a group spirit, a family of consciousness. Think in families of consciousness. You're a mini mind, multiple mind, a united mind. This is exactly what Metatron is. It's a huge collective mind that came from Ascended Master to go rescue their Anu Elohim, who are feline aquatic apes, and they started to de-evolve. They started to attack other races and destroy planets and murder other people. And the Metatron collective wanted to go balance that. They failed, and they also fell. Their whole collective, the whole Ascended Master collective fell into the Phantom Matrix. There is physics behind fallen consciousness. You put too much. If you put too much of your consciousness into the time matrix, there's a risk that it could pull the whole time matrix in. I mean, that's not what I meant to say. The whole collective in. And that's exactly what happened to Metatron and guardian angelic nations. Bring us this history. It's not coming from me. It's not my personal ideas and opinions. It's talked about here and in different workshops since 1998. The Guardians have brought us this truth, this information about the fallen angelics and how they are against the Christos, against God, against the earth, against humans. And they will do everything. They have done everything to trick, deceive, fool, feed off of us, disease us, mutate us, disempower us. Metatron is not your friend, Lightworkers. that's actually called Death Star mechanics. You know, a Merkaba star in reverse is death. And this is what Metatron brings you, baby. False ascension mechanics, false ascension teachings, false spiritual identities. They pretend to be good guys. They pretend to be gods. They become self-proclaimed archangels that don't even exist, like Archangel Michael. But he came to me. I know he's real. Honey, fallen angelics use technology to channel you. It's called the New Age channeling movement, because there's channeling involved with Archangel Michael and all these other self-proclaimed archangels like Metatron. Let's just say Archangel Michael does channel you. Run the other way. Machiwa. To each their own. If that is your truth, if that is what you understand and believe, bless you, Machiwa. I align myself with the guardian angelic nations, who are part of what's called the Guardian Alliance, the Interdimensional Associated Free Worlds. It is the guardians outside of polarity, the ones who are coming from their divine blueprints. You know, humans are far from their divine blueprints. The divine blueprint is in the 12th dimension, and we're in the 3rd dimension. This is a distortion, 11D, distortion 10, more distortion 9, worse distortion 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're not official down here. We're confused, we're disempowered, we're weak, we're sick, we're diseased, we're cancer-ridden, virus-ridden, we're profane, we're confused in our spiritual ideas. Now our world is upside down. Now we're calling the bad guys good guys. This is a spiritual awakening, and they come here during our spiritual awakening on purpose, so they can confuse our awakening, so we can get lost and have an actual false identity. Because now you're thinking you're an Inky is your God. Now you think Metatron, the blessed Metatron, you're gonna do work with Archangel Michael. You're on the Enlil side. You're on the Marduk side. You're like working with Galactic Fed. I can't wait to go to the April alien event in California, and it's going to be interesting to see all this massive thousands of people, and also to see who's teaching all of this shit. And shake their hand and look into their eyes, look into their teachings, have an interesting dialogue. And hey, I'm taking the show with me. You guys will be getting behind the scenes while I'm at the show, baby. What's up? Maybe some of you will come, and I'll meet you there. What's up? I want to meet Carrie Cassidy. I want to shake her hand. Maybe she'll do. I know she would do a show because she's done shows with other people who asked to do an interview with her. She doesn't mind. It's free advertising to her when you do a show. But she doesn't know me right now. But when she finds out that I'm studying Ashana's work sharing the work, she might have more